guys. So you guys played a simulation or kind of like a game to look at wave interference or the superposition of waves. That's the fancy name for it. So I just want to make sure we're all on the same page. So you've got two types of interference. Constructive interference is when the displacement of the disturbances of two or more waves are the same. So that means that the amplitude, so if we look at wave 1, which is the yellow in this image, and then if we look at wave 2, which is the blue, their amplitudes occur on the same side of the equilibrium position. So they will create an even larger wave. So if we were looking at this, we wouldn't see the two individual waves, we would just see the green one. And so it creates that bigger wave. And then destructive interference is just the opposite. So the displacement of the disturbance of two or more waves are different. So now wave 1 is the yellow guy, wave 2 is the blue. Their displacements, their amplitudes are on opposite sides of what we would consider the equilibrium position in the center. And so they would actually combine to create the green wave, and it's almost like we subtracted the blue from the yellow to get the green wave, and that's what we would see. And so here's just a fun graphic. So the red and the blue are two individual waves, and what we would experience as a result of the combination of those two is the black wave. So sometimes you have constructive interference because sometimes the displacements of the blue and the red wave are the same. And sometimes you have destructive interference where the displacement of the red and the blue are opposite, so they would cancel each other out. So this brings us to standing waves. Standing waves, and no, that's not my puppy. My puppy can't surf. But standing waves, let's see if this will work, are waves that are created from constructive and destructive interference. And they look as though they're standing still. So you can see in the graphic, there's places that look like they're not moving at all, and there's places that look like they're moving up and down very, very quickly. So again, standing waves, they appear to be standing still in their left to right motion. So it looks like they're not moving this way. But you do see motion up and down, right? So the amplitude can change. The displacement of the wave can change. And so when we talk about a standing wave, there's two kind of positions that we refer to. So there's the node, which is no displacement. This is complete destructive interference. And it's the places on that wave that look like they're not moving at all. And there's the antinode, which is constructive interference, and it's the maximum displacement, the maximum amplitude that the wave will have. And those are the spaces that looked like they were moving up and down very, very quickly. So I'll provide the links for these two videos. This one, I don't know if you've ever heard of a Rubens tube, but it's essentially just a tube connected to, so a flammable gas is sent through it, and there's a series of holes that are put in the top. And then you play music into the tube and the fire, so you light the flammable gas on fire, and the fire will actually make the shape of the waves. And so you can see standing waves that way. This guy right here, it's the same idea, except they made it like a 3D platform. 2D, 3D? One of those. It's just really cool. So I'll post the video, post the links to the video so you guys can watch those if you'd like. And this one too. So standing waves are used in a lot in science and in drug manufacturing because you can actually use standing waves to move small materials. Because if you place a material at the node, at the place where there's no movement, you can manipulate that and get it to move to another object. So again, I'll post the link for that video. It's pretty cool. So we're actually going to, let's see if I can make this work. We're going to look at the simulation together. So let me go to the page and just adjust what you guys are looking at. Okay, here we go. So, standing waves occur differently on different objects. So right now we'll just look at the transverse waveform. So this would be called, this is the first standing wave. And so this would actually be like if you strummed a guitar string. And if you were creating the first standing wave, we would call that the first harmonic. It creates one antinode, so that's this big movement up and down, and two nodes, so two places of no movement.